Yes. I think it needs to be like the lion's share of behaviors. Like it needs to be right. So like if right. So if I mean if it yeah if it's I think if consistently the child is treated in that way, then yeah, it'll stick. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Check in, people. Drop in the chat. Today we're talking about the difference between uh, discipline and motivation and how to use them. So jump in here. Let's get going. Let's get live, people. Remember when you check in, make sure you uh, drop in where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. We are still pushing for 2,500 subscribers, guys. We're pretty close. We're pretty close to 2,500 subscribers. Help us continue to march along that way, along that route, as we continue to grow. I'm coming to you from the United States. I'm in Maryland. My name is Oloropo. It is Thursday, 1:17 in the afternoon. And Krishna, what's going on, Krishna? Thanks for stopping in. I want you guys to join us today so we can talk about this. It's really, I think it's a big deal. I think it's an area where for growth and success in any endeavor, it is necessary to understand the difference between motivation and motivation and discipline. So many people are looking constantly for motivation, constantly for that thing to kind of make them feel like they can get pumped up to do it, where discipline is going to be the thing. Whether or not you get pumped up or not, it's going to drive you. It's going to keep you going. I want to thank you guys for checking in and being here today. I appreciate that. Again, my name is Oloropo, and Krishna, I just said I'm from the United States. I am in Maryland on the East Coast. Where are you checking in from, Krishna? And Saint, what's going on, Saint? Aloha, big man. What's going on? Good to see you back. Thanks for stopping in again. This talk this afternoon is going to be about the difference between discipline and motivation. And an important factor in this conversation is going to be that, as I said before, discipline has 4 pillars, right? The 4 pillars of discipline. Welcome in Krishna from India. Thank you. The 4 pillars of discipline, we all know that we share this constantly, is repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. The first 3 work on the thing, the last one works on you. It's important to have it, it's important to learn it, and it's important to know how to use it. So as you guys come on and get in here, thanks for stopping in. Let's get these core lessons and start to grow today. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, everyone. Make sure when you check in, drop in the chat where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. And let's have this talk. How's everybody doing today? It is now it's 1:19 here in the United States. We're gonna make this one a quick one, guys. Just wanna make sure we get this out here real quick. I'll probably do an extended, probably do an hour walk and talk on this same topic tomorrow morning. But I do wanna just kind of point out some core principles about what is the difference between motivation and discipline. 8:20 p.m. Saint. All right, so I think one of the first things that we're going to have to do whenever we want to delve into anything, I'm going to go over some notes that I have up here on my screen and share them with you guys as we go through this process. I want to share these notes so that I want to make sure I'm getting it correct for you. All right, so The first thing we have to do, one of the most important things in this process, is we have to understand the limitations of motivation. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a motivator guy. Like, I was personal training for over 15 years. During that time, the key doing any workout is the motivation. It's the push. It's that ability to help the client and get 100% of what they're looking for out of the workout. It's that ability to encourage and to inspire. That is the motivation that we see there. And it comes in different ways. Sometimes it's clapping, sometimes it's you got it, sometimes it's like demeaning. Get your push those chicken legs, let's squat. So there are different ways, but motivation comes in all these different shapes. But here's the thing, motivation has limitations. And the biggest thing that we have to do is be able to identify those. That's step one, guys, is to understand the difference between motivation and discipline is that we have to identify the limitations of motivation. Because when we have these limitations and we fail to address those limitations, we fail to see what those limitations are, it stops us, it holds us back. Here's the important thing about something that we use. So discipline is a tool. You apply it, you use it. Motivation is a tool. You apply it, you use it. If the tool has limitations, the limitations are on the outcome. Does that make sense, guys? Like if you're trying to drink a soda and the straw is too short, it has limitations. So in order for you to use the straw to drink the soda, it's not going to be able to get to all of the drink because you're limited by the tool that you have and its ability to be able to perform. All right, so Professor says the biggest limitation of motivation, Amo, is consistency. No, that's not right. Need you try to explain that one better, Professor. Motivation and consistency are two different things. And so one of the things that we have to go, and I'm going to go in my notes. The first thing I have here is we want to accept that the feelings are unreliable, right? Motivation comes and it goes. So what that means is when we feel motivated by something, because here's the key, like I said before, there's different ways to be motivated. We can often be motivated by anger. We can be motivated by hate. We can be motivated by disdain. That is not a positive fuel. It's one of the weakest ways to motivate or drive yourself is with anger or with hatred. And the reason it's so weak, one, it burns dirty. It burns you as much as the person that you're trying to apply it to. Two, it doesn't grow you in any way. Hate is usually designed to tear someone else down. And so when you take on the aspect of hate as a motivation, everything that you're trying to do is to try to show somebody up or to pull somebody down. And that's not how we want to work. That's what I mean. Motivation isn't consistent for me as it is. It's not always exactly. Yes, that's 100%. Well said. Well said indeed for you as well, Professor. So what do we need to do if we get to an understanding that motivation is not always there, that motivation comes and motivation goes? Well, we have to find something to fill in that space when the motivation is gone. The reason the channel is called Finance Fixers is because we understand that there are many areas of people's life that they want to work on, and these areas of life oftentimes require energy, investment, and definitely time, right? So that's why patience is such a big pillar in discipline. But in order for us to start making those steps, we have to, because we can motivate ourselves, we can get really hyped up about wanting to do something. We have to learn how to transition our motivation to discipline, right? And then once you've developed discipline, you can point that tool at anything and you're guaranteed success. If you're building towards mastery, if you're using discipline to master any skill, you're guaranteed to see success along the way. Bruce Wayne, hey, I know where you at. Fort Worth, Texas, 1224. Are you on that back balcony? Looking out on it? Facing west? That sun, like it's blazing right now, 1224. It's right overhead. So why is this one of the big things we want to talk about? Thanks for being here, Bruce. So now when we're going from motivation and those limitations, One of the things that we do is there are statements that we need to replace, right? There are ways to talk about it. So the motivation basically says, hey, I'll do it when I feel like it. And you want to replace that with discipline, which is, I'll do it because it's what I need to do. I'll do it because it's who I am. I'll do it because this is the work. This is the goal. He says, I am 3rd floor, west face, still safe from the sun for about another 45 minutes, maybe, Bruce. And that sun in Texas, once it starts to come down, shadows start to fade, just blaze up. So that's what we're talking about here is that motivation versus that discipline, right? So when we're disciplined, we start to do things because those are the things that need to be done. Not because we get pumped up and rah, rah, rah. Like, and so many people, and I can tell you a perfect place to see this. So many people go into their job, right? And I will persevere. So many people go into their job and they're motivated when they first get the job. Oh, it's great. I love this company. I got this opportunity. They have many ways to move ahead. There's all these things we can do. And then they get there and they start working and they stop looking at what their goal is, which is for them to grow. And they start looking at other people, right? Oh, this person isn't as good as me. Why does this person have this job? Like we start looking outside of ourselves, and now the motivation is gone because, oh, it's harder than I thought it was going to be. Oh, well, this person isn't as good as me. And we start looking for ways to get ourselves out of it. This is what I'm trying to share with you here. That demotivation requires discipline to travel your path. This is why it's important not to use hate as a motivator. Because hate is essentially saying, I'm not trying to win, I'm just trying to keep them from winning. That's how hate works. It's like, I'm not trying to be the best version of me, I'm just trying to be better than you. That's limiting, right? Remember, that's what we said about motivation, is motivation has limits. Discipline does not. Discipline is boundless. It starts with the repetition, which is the practice to learn the skill. And then it's followed up with patience that tells you it's going to take time. Don't worry about it. Don't rush. We're going to follow that up with consistency, because once we understand it and we know how to do the job, now we want to start to do it at a specific level, and that requires a plan. Consistency does that. KPI is what they call it in business, key performance indicators. And then at the very end of this, what we're going to have is perseverance, and perseverance is the thing that works on you. Perseverance is the thing that as you go through this processing and you still, I'm not saying you're not going to see the people outside of you. I'm not saying you're not going to be impacted by the things that you see, the things that you hear, and the things that happen. What I'm saying is perseverance is the thing that turns you in the person who you need to be. So when you get where you're going, you're prepared for it, right? Perseverance is what makes you a leader. It's the thing that shapes you into understanding the challenges and the struggles that you went through and that others are facing who are trying to get to where you are. Perseverance works on you. And so I think that's a really important part, but that's discipline, not motivation, right? And so Alona says, I'm sorry, most of the things you say is confusing me. So just taking notes to get better and memorizing and be able to recall words correctly. Awesome, keep it up. And you also, all of my lives, after I complete them, they post directly to the channel, so you can come back in and rewatch them. Professor says, that's a major problem with me. I get toxic competitiveness. Right. So, and what happens is you're like, oh, I'm gonna beat this person, right? But in order to beat this person, you're just running faster than that person, right? IJ, how you doing? How you doing, IJ, okay? So if you're just trying to beat that person, what about the other 30 or 40 people who are on this journey with you? What about the other people who are in this race? And this toxic competitiveness, you're focused on who's the fastest. I'm going to beat the fastest person. Okay, well, why not beat yourself? Like, what is it that you're training to get to you? Noah, good afternoon. Welcome in. Thanks for being here, boss. And so, again, what we're talking about today is we're talking specifically about the difference between motivation and discipline. And motivation is temporary. Motivation is awesome. Motivation is fun. It's good to go into a day. In a lot of the industries that I've worked in, we use motivation. It really helps. Definitely in personal training, it helps. In the retail space, it helps. In sales, it helps. So there's a great way to kind of get this burst of energy. But what happens when that burst wears off and we need to get into the grind? This is where discipline shows up. Professor said some people thrive in it, but I've decided it's not for me. And it shouldn't be for you, right? Because your biggest competitor should be the yesterday's version of you, right? Like, in order for you to be the best version of you, you can't compare yourself to someone else. You have to compare yourself to the current version of you, right? And who was I yesterday, and what did I do yesterday to make me into who I am today? How am I growing? How am I becoming better? How am I moving towards my purpose and my goal? That is what discipline is designed to do, right? And putting it into the 4 pillars of repetition. And this is big because so many people believe that consistency is where discipline starts. It does not. You cannot be consistent in a skill that you do not have. You cannot perform consistently in a space in which you do not have the skills or the tools. Repetition is the practice that teaches you how to become skilled. And patience is what allows for it to happen. And that's when you become consistent. And so many people rush it. They try to put the cart ahead of the horse and they just want to jump right to consistency. Slow down. There are a lot of things that you need to uncover and you need to learn. And this process is the repetition of doing it over and over until it's second nature, right? And then you add on the next step and you do it over and over. And then you add on the next step and the next step. And this is how you go from repetition with your patience to consistency, but it has to be intentional. A lot of people are in the repetitive stage of their jobs where all they do is show up. You're not intentionally working towards growth. You're not taking steps that are designed for you to improve and grow your skill. You're just showing up. You're showing up, you're punching the clock, and you're getting what you're being passed over. People are going past you. You're not achieving your goals. You're not seeing what you want to see because you're not doing the work that needs to be done. Bruce said, drop the competition. The problem with it is when you are better than anyone in the building, you'll plateau. 100% you will. 100%, I agree. Professor agrees as well. I would add the people around you. This is also Bruce. He said, I would add the people around you might be trash. Listen, Bruce, I love when you come in and share. Indeed. Like, if you, listen, what do they say? Big fish, small pond. If you're the biggest fish in a small pond, like, you're like, man, I'm showing out. And then somebody throw you in the sea, you'd be like, can I get my pond back? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to work on you, because once you start working on you, especially if you want to grow, like, you have to consistently move up in competition. You have to consistently look for those challenges that you can create for yourself to say, hey, this challenges me. I'm going to need to do more. I'm going to need to learn more. Like, I've learned this, and because I've learned this, I uncovered this. And because I uncovered this, I now need to know this. And these are the things that are going to help you on the journey. Professor said, that's actually a really good breakdown of discipline. Thank you very much. And unless you were talking to Bruce, which is who's also been giving some excellent information as well, right? And so now the next part is, in order to build repetition, right? The repetition, we just have to start with small goals. We want to have manageable goals. And what do I mean about that? I don't mean start so easy that it doesn't matter. But whatever the thing is that you're working on, you need to start small and build on it, right? So as a personal trainer, one of the biggest things that would happen is clients would come in and they were like, hey, I want to make it 5 days a week. I want to sign up for training 5 days a week. And then you're like, okay, sure. Like, we can get you into a 5-day-a-week training program. Let's talk a little bit about it. So here's the first question. Have you ever been in a training program before? Yes or no? They can answer that. What are your specific goals for your training? Oh, I'm just looking to lose some weight. Most people, build some muscle, whatever the case may be. For most people, they have a pair of pants that they can't fit in, that they could fit in a couple of years ago. They're trying to get back into them. And then you start to ask questions about what type of workouts have you done before? What do you know about the fitness program? Like, you ask all of these questions, and they want to get in here 5 days a week. And then once you start talking to them a little bit, you're like, okay, so what's going on? Oh, well, I have 3 kids who are in school. My job is in a busy area, and then I live kind of far out, and so they start walking through the things, and you're like, okay, so when is the last time you've been in the gym? Oh, I don't know, man. It's been years. Well, let's not go 5 days a week, right? Like, let's be sensible. Your body's going to need recovery time. You haven't been in here in years. We're going to break you 45 minutes in. Like, your body is going to be like, hey, I'll see you next week. So let's take that in consideration. Do not set a goal or a plan so high that it prevents it from being able to be achievable, and by doing so, it knocks you down, right? Looks like Cushington. Okay, Cushington. Bro could make mad money reading bedtime stories. Cushington said, guy's got a soothing voice, not gonna lie. Thank you. And then Tommy is checking in from Sweden. How are you doing, Tommy? Thanks for being here. So now we've gotten to this point where we're like, okay, so we know what we want to do, but we need to do it. With repetition, it's about being able to do it where we have to be able to do it in a space where it's achievable, because if we set it too high, we're going to knock ourselves. We're going to kill ourselves. We're going to put ourselves in a space where we're not going to be able to make it, and then we're going to feel bad. So if you say you're going to come 3 days a week and you only make it 2, you're like, oh man, I missed a day. But if you say you're going to come 2 days a week and then you make it 3, you're like, man, I feel good. I'm crushing it. So we have to start sensible, right? And so build patience. That's the next thing. Patience comes after that, because once you start to do it with repetition, right? So if you say, hey, I want to start setting money aside, you're like, okay, I'm gonna set aside $1 a day, right? $1 a day. I'm gonna take it out of my pocket and I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it into the jar. $1 a day, or $1 a day. I'm gonna move it out of my checking account into my savings account. I'm gonna do it, right? And so, and the thing is, don't just move $30, $28, or $31 at the beginning of the month. Do the $1 a day, because the repetition is what we're working on, right? This patience. So this is the first step of people being impatient, is if someone says, I need you, so as a personal trainer, I say, I need you to do 10 sets of 5 push-ups. I can do more than 5 push-ups. I need you to do 10 sets of 5 push-ups, because I want you to do 5, get up, and then get back down. I need you to get up and down 10 times. And I need you to do 5 push-ups. We're gonna get to 50. Oh, I can drop down. I did 30. You know, you're exhausted now. Your arms are burned out. Now, versus you resting for what was gonna be a 15 to 20 second rest, you're resting for 2.5 minutes. And then you can only do 10 of the last 15 that have to be done. And so this leads to a problem, because so many people are in such a hurry to get to the end, to get finished. They don't have patience, and you can't develop the skill and repetition without having patience. Doing 10 sets of 5 allows for us to correct posture, correct form, truly target the muscle, see what's going on with the development. I can do more than that. Well, I don't need you to do more than that, because what you're doing right now is learning the process of following through with what you're doing. So many people want to jump straight to consistency, and it's not time yet. Take the time to learn. Use the repetition and the patience with the goals that you set for yourself to learn and grow and know. Everything doesn't have to be everything every day. Some things can be once a week. Some things can be twice a week, 3 times a week. It doesn't matter. But once you start that consistency and you start to say, I'm going to move $1 a day, into my savings, then you jump up and say, I'm going to move $10 a week. You see how both things went up? The frequency in which it happened went down, but the amount in which you're applying has gone up. This is compounding interest. This is the discipline dividend, because now you found that moving $1 a day is simple. And you've been doing it for a few months, and you can see your savings account is growing because they're throwing little nickels and pennies on top of it with the interest that they're providing you. And now you want to see more of it. And so you start to increase that from being $1 to 5, maybe 10. And now we're doing it. If you go to 5, you say, I'm still doing it daily. If we go to 10, we say, I'm throwing $10 in there once a week. And then we move up. We say, okay, I'm gonna do $150 a month. Or, do you see, like, this is how things grow, because you've already set the standard of knowing you have the discipline. And now this consistency says, set a mark. And it says, I want to have this much money by this point. So I want to have this much money in savings to invest by this date. How much do I need to move? And what frequency do I want to move it at? That is how it works. The perseverance is when things happen. And this is what perseverance is. You start moving your money, right? Got a flat tire. Oh, I don't feel like cooking. Oh, I want to take somebody out. I think I want to see a movie. And that money is something there that you've been moving, right? You're 3 months in and you've been moving $1 a day. You got about 90 some dollars sitting there. And you're like, man, I want to eat out, but I gotta wait. I don't get paid until tomorrow, or I don't want to use a credit card. Whatever the case may be, boop, you dip into that savings. You have to fight that. That's the perseverance. That's the perseverance that says, hey, for the bigger goal of establishing and getting this discipline, I'm not going to move that money. I'm not going to touch that money because it serves a purpose. BN, what's going on? Thank you very much, Poppy Chulo. Professor says, patience is hard as patience is hard as especially when you're in a crappy place. You just want to get out of there. Not talking about just fitness. That's true. That's true. Like it is hard because you're climbing a mountain. You want to get to the top, right? Like I have to keep climbing this mountain. Like I have to keep stepping. I have to keep going. But you're like, dude, like, can I get a ride? And this is the thing I'm telling you. This is the part, because everybody believes that consistency is all that discipline is. They never do the repetition and the patience, which are the first two pillars. So that when consistency comes in as this third pillar, everything speeds up. It's better to take 3 months to learn it, so when you know it, you can double it in a week, than it is to try to learn it in a week and take 3 months before you ever figure out how to really do it. Does that make sense? Like, this is the process of understanding that first repetition is intentional practice. You are intentionally doing the thing that you're doing in order to see this growth, right? That's going to be one of the keys there, is making sure that we have this repetition, right? And we have to have clear goals and clear standards. Alessandro said Raja Jackson is going to jail. Okay. Maybe you want to speak to Raja about that. I saw something on there about him and some wrestler he was fighting. All right, now, track progress is the next thing that we want to be able to do, right? We have to set clear standards and track progress. The reason we have to set clear standards is as we're working with repetition and in this beginning and we're learning, we're like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? And it's not going to be perfect at first, but as we continue to work on it and continue to build, we're going to find ourselves get better. So what you want to do is once you set this clear standards, uh, once you've established it, give me a second, guys. Okay, so once you set this clear standard and you know what it is that you're working on, you know what it is that you're working towards, we now have to take this opportunity to start to actually build, to start to actually uh, get on top of it, right? We have to get on to an understanding that the growth that we're seeing and the progress that we're making, be able to market. We have to be able to check in on it. We have to be able to say to ourselves, hey, I know I've set a standard, and how do I know when I've reached it? Well, I know I've reached this standard by the performance and the productivity on my part, right? And so some of the things that are going to be important for doing that is because we're not at setting a plan now. We're not at setting a plan, but we do have a clear standard that we want to have. The reason we do that so is that the practice can help us to grow. As we start to practice, now that practice, exactly, Papa Chulo, now that practice over time, which is what the patience is for, turns into consistency. I think one of the best ways to look at it is I really like looking at sports. And in a lot of sports, you'll see people play at the top of the game. Now, this is what I love about professionals. This is what I love about professional sports. The ability to make something so difficult seems so simple. I mean, like the ability to continuously repeat, like soccer is a great example, like keeping a ball on your foot, like try it, give it a shot, see what it's like dribbling a ball. Basketball is the same, like ball handling moves, like seeing the people who are at the top of their game make this look so simple is because they started with repetition. You just keep going out and playing football. You keep going out and playing basketball. You keep going out and playing the game. Keep going out and playing golf. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. And at some point you start to say, okay, I need to set a standard to it. I'm going out to do this. What am I doing when I'm going out here? What am I working on? Footwork? Am I working on eyesight? Am I working on, vision? Am I working on passing? Like, what am I working on, right? Now you need to learn what the game asks of you just for you to be able to work on it. This is how setting that standard, working with repetition, having patience to understand it's going to take time to grow, and then starting to do so with consistency. And then when we move into this consistency phase, we start jumping by leaps and bounds. And as Bruce said earlier, maybe you're in a trash pond. Maybe you think you're really good because you're in a trash pond and you need to move up to a different league. Listen, the only way we know that we're truly growing and the only way we know that we're actually doing the work is we have to challenge ourselves. Professor says, so repetition is kind of like the amount of work you can realistically every day for sure. Then you got to be patient to make progress till you're at the level where you can consistently perform. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, right? So what you're looking at is what can I do every day, right? And then you do that. And then as you do it every day, you'll get to a point of what else can I do every day? And then you'll start to learn, right? You start to, okay, so I can do this as well every day. And then you add to it. What else can I do every day? Okay, now, do I need to do these things every day? Can I do these things every other day? Can I do these things once a week? Depending on what it is you're working on. Because as you become better at it, right? And here's the key, right? You start off with doing it every day. And it's just like saving the money, but when you get good at it, this discipline starts to apply in other areas in your life. Now you don't have to do it every day. Do it once a month. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know my plan. I'm dropping 250 in the savings account this month. I do it every month. Just put it over there. It's going because you've developed this discipline. You've had the patience. You've had the repetition so that now everything's accelerated, right? I don't have to do it every day anymore. I can do it once a week and I'm going to grow faster. I'm spending less time doing it, which is why you have to learn in the beginning, which is why you have to practice and be patient in the beginning. So when you know it, it's not hard to do, right? It just happens. You just know how to do it. Professor said, you gotta persevere and not fall off the wagon. Indeed. And that perseverance is a big thing because that perseverance is the thing that builds you, right? That perseverance. So the first part is the patience. The patience is just saying, hey, we got to keep doing the work. We'll get there. We'll get there. Consistency starts to see the work get done. Perseverance, and this is going to happen to anyone who's ever built anything or gone anywhere. Perseverance is when you have this mark that you know you want to hit, and then you don't hit it, or something gets in the way. Something like it's for everyone who's built something. They've had this moment where it's like, hey, like this is my dream relationship. I know this is going to be perfect. And then something gets in the way. Oh, I had to go away. And he or she started connecting with someone else to whatever level. Oh, persevere. Oh, is this your relationship still? Man, emotion. Listen, I'm telling you, you can apply discipline to relationships. But when it comes to emotion, it is hard. It is hard. It is super difficult. So when we start talking about applying it to our job, and I want to move up, oh, the company doesn't have that spot anymore. This whole time you've been doing this work to move up, now they change your store manager, or they change your location manager, your office manager, and now this work that you've been doing, this new manager's like, that doesn't count. Ooh, hold on. What? This is 2.5 years. You got to persevere, because you understand that you're still working towards it. I get it. Now now this new guy has to get to know me. This new person has to become aware of my talents and my skills, right? I have to show them, but you got to persevere, because that's what's going to build you. That's what's going to get you to the point that when you get there, you're like, man, I made it. You see these calluses, you see this, you see how I'm preserved, you see this work that I've been through. That perseverance works on you. And I'm telling you, when you get there, you're going to be so enamored. You're going to be so blessed to have it, right? And so Professor said, hello, smart. IMH says, this guy is an convict. Smart Read Digest says, hello guys, hello Smart, how are you doing? Bruce, one thing about discipline that I embrace, it always shows me where I need to improve. Indeed, because discipline, when you are disciplined, it will get you to the point where it's like, what's next? What is the next thing that I need to work on, right? And so now we want to track that progress. We want to leverage our accountability. And then we want to shift from it being an emotional thing to an identity thing. That's the big thing about it. It's like when we move from putting monies into savings from being an emotional thing to, hey, this is who I am thing. This is what I do. I set aside 25% of my income to investments. This is what I do. I move 75% of my income to investments. Like, this is what I do. My money makes money for me. It's who I am. It's what I do, right? So it's no longer a matter of what are you trying to do or what are you working on. It's who I am. It's what I do. Like Bruce, 3rd floor, back patio, west facing, shortly after 12, out there looking, what is it, 28 acres, Bruce? What is it, 28 miles or 28 acres? Let me know, Bruce. Christopher Maltazanti. Woo, that's a hard one, Chris. Did I say that right? Maltazanti? Why your son Raja do that to them? Right. And so here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. It's really important. 27 miles. I can see Weatherford from Fort Worth. This is what I'm talking about. Keep looking. Professor said, that's a Sopranos character. The name that I said, Christopher Malta. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not as versed in pop culture as I should be. No, I'm not. I haven't. No, never watched The Sopranos. Bruce, there's a red and green gas station sign. Lights up at night. I know where it's at. Indeed, you do. It's 27 miles away. So now, guys, as we do this, we want to leverage our accountability. Leveraging our accountability means that we can now use that in other spaces. We can simply say in other spaces where we are self-aware that, hey, we need to stay on top of being aware and taking care of ourselves and following that. And then we shift from emotion to identity. And so, guys, all of this is important. All of these are steps that are applied to discipline. This is what makes discipline more than motivation. It is quite easy, quite often, for people to be motivated. But it's temporary. It's short-lived. Discipline is what we have to start to learn and what we have to start to instill. It is 4 pillars. They are quite simple. It is repetition, followed by patience, which will build to consistency, and then perseverance. And perseverance is the thing that works on you. So when you get where you're going, you'll be who you want to be when you see what you want to see. And so, guys, thank you so much for stopping in today. I appreciate you having all in. Thank you for all of your participation. Bruce, as always, is great. Professor, it was great to meet you. Thank you for being here. Maltananti, also, thank you for being here. Discipline eats motivation for breakfast. I like that. What's the name? Simply blessed. Yes, indeed. And so, guys, girls, ladies, everyone, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, guys. We're on the road to 2,500 subscribers. Please like, subscribe, and share. Encourage others to join. Also, you can now see on the page inside of the description, because I'm not yet monetized, but we do have the B&V apparel now available on Spreadshop. So you can stop in, get yourself a hoodie, a hat, t-shirts. We have lots of items available there, lots of different designs as well. And if you would like to contribute to the cause, we'd appreciate that as well. All right, Professor, good stuff, boss. Thank you so much. Thank you, Papa Chulo, for being here. You guys have a good one. And as always, I would like to share with this before you go. Keep showing up, Mr. Tahoe. Good to see you, brother. Keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, guys, take care.